Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Alternative Jargon episode number 32. Today I want to talk about some tech-related issues because, what else is running our world right now, if not tech? So, you've undoubtedly probably heard of the new Apple Vision Pro that came out. It's essentially a VR headset, of course, made by Apple, but it's sort of a step up from anything that we've ever seen before. I'm not an expert on VR stuff, but obviously when Apple does something, it's usually ahead of the competition. Then, of course, you have the people that go, well, Samsung did this 10 years ago. I don't know if that's true, and I don't care to check. But the Vision Pro, if you strip away all of your, the notion of, wow, this looks like it's straight out of a dystopian novel that I would have read in middle school. If you can see past that, it does look like a pretty cool piece of tech. I'm not completely sold that it's quote-unquote the future of computing, like Casey Neistat and other people are saying. I'm always going to prefer physical hardware to software and touchscreens and things like that personally. This is maybe the nerdiest thing that I've ever said in my entire life, but one of my favorite things in the world is typing on a keyboard, a physical keyboard, like my laptop that I have sitting in front of me. It's like playing Guitar Hero, but with your thoughts being translated into ideas. All right. It's like playing Guitar Hero, but for educational purposes. Like I said, nerdiest thing that maybe has ever been uttered by a human being. But, I shouldn't necessarily say that it's always educational. Sometimes I type things out to spat back at somebody on Twitter. Sometimes I type out, car crash compilation on YouTube. So I can't say it's always used for education, but either way, it's like translating your thoughts into language, and it is like Guitar Hero. So I can't stand to sit and watch people, do the chicken poking type of typing. I was blessed enough to have a keyboard class in elementary school, and so pretty much from that time forward, I have known how to type well. And it is so valuable because I know some people that just can't type, and it's hard to watch, and you can really get things done faster. But look, one of the things that a lot of people are not talking about with the Apple Vision Pro is that the real fun begins when these things can interact with each other. Right now, we know that the Apple Vision Pro can turn your environment into a bunch of screens with a bunch of stuff on it. We get that. We know that. But my question is, and this probably won't happen with this first generation of headsets, I wouldn't think, but eventually these things have to be able to interact, right? So you go out and you might be able to equip a Fortnite skin, and everyone else wearing a Vision Pro is going to go, hey, look, it's Jonesy. That'll be interesting. We might have like the GTA purple versus green alien gang thing happen in real life if these things are eventually able to interact with each other. So there's already a FaceTime feature on the Vision Pro that basically turns your face into a terrifying uncanny valley thing whenever you FaceTime another person. Laundry's done. But yeah, if you're FaceTiming on an Apple Vision Pro with another person on an Apple Vision Pro, since you are not able to obviously see your face with this thing on, it basically scans your face and it turns your FaceTime screen into an NBA 2K face scan. And we all know that those are not always the best. I watched Marquez Brownlee's review of this, and he goes, after a few minutes, you can't really tell that your friend looks like a Roblox character. And while that might be true, I don't know. I don't know if I'd be able to take that step back and just accept that. Hey, it's snowing outside. Yeah, I don't know if I'd be able to do that because they do look really creepy. And they are able to move, but the mannerisms are weird. It looks like deepfake technology from like 2015. All right, it's not even really close, and it's weird. I don't like it. I really do not like it. So, but yeah, I mean, you will eventually probably be able to interact with other people on the Vision Pro and customize your appearance. People will be walking around New York City with the bold glamour TikTok filter on. That's when things really get interesting. As Anakin Skywalker would say, this is where the fun begins, okay? And you better be dang sure that the Force is with you, because you're not even going to know who you're looking at in a few years' time. So buckle up for that. And with this is obviously going to come with discrimination. All right, so let's say you're interacting with people on the Apple Vision Pro who also have the Apple Vision Pro, and at this point, we're all going to be so scramble egg brained, that we're going to need like subtitles in real life, because nobody can watch even a TikTok anymore without subtitles on the screen for some dumb reason. They just can't use their ears to hear anymore. So whenever you talk to someone, a couple of Vision Pro users, their subtitles will pop up as blue bubbles, obviously. And then if you walk up to somebody on the train or wherever you're at and you go, "Excuse me, pal," and you move by and he goes, "Oh yeah, sorry, dude." And you look at him and he's wearing the Meta Quest 3, and his bubble shows up green, and you slog him in the face, and you don't go to jail because Apple owns everything now. And it'll be like that situation from Joker where like all the Wall Street jerks just, beat the crap out of Joaquin Phoenix. It'll be kind of like that. Before he's able to pull out his little laminated card that said, "I don't have $4,000 to shell out for a headset," he will probably have his skull bashed in. And that is just the sad thing about the world that we're moving toward. I am, of course, joking. But seriously, I think the subtitle thing might happen. And like I said, I don't know why every TikTok now and every podcast clip and everything has to have a subtitle now. I understand when I'm watching a movie and I'm crunching on my popcorn, yeah, I want the subtitles. Especially if it's a Christopher Nolan movie, I'm not going to know what the heck they're saying unless it's one of his 4 movies that I've seen 100 times already. So I understand that. But when I'm sitting on the toilet scrolling, look, the sound of things splashing in the water is not so loud that it would drown out whatever Joe Rogan's saying. So that really doesn't make sense. And look, I have no room to talk because I also put subtitles on my podcast clips. I have noticed that the ones that I do put subtitles on, they do tend to perform better than the ones that I do not. Once again, I don't know why. Maybe it's just completely subconscious, but it just seems like the last 2 years or so, every form of media just always has subtitles. Even things that are supposed to look cinematic. You'll see an edit from a movie or, let's say a Breaking Bad edit. Okay, an edit that shows Walter and Jesse cooking away. Every single quote in that edit is going to have some dumb Adobe After Effects subtitle thing, transition effect. And it's like, okay, this is a video that's supposed to look cinematic, but we're still going to slap this bold impact font on the screen for every word they say. Even though 90% of Americans can quote this show word for word. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't make sense. And look, it doesn't bother me. I'm just trying to wrap my head around it. But it's just one of those things that makes me think like, yeah, we are really regressing as a species, potentially. We might be going back to monkey brain. So that's one of the mysteries that I just don't really understand. But the other thing about the Vision Pro is that whenever you put this thing on, you're not looking out into the real world. You are seeing a screen that has super, super quick sensors and cameras. So you're not actually seeing the real world. You are seeing a screen that's recorded of the real world. But it is fast enough that I saw videos of people playing ping pong with it on. So that's pretty insane. It is pretty insane. Tim Dillon talked about this on one of his episodes recently, said that, these things are just going to replace drugs because you'll just be able to go on whatever trip you want with this thing on. Now, obviously, I've never done psychedelics, but everyone who does says, oh, it's not about the visuals, it's about the feeling. And I believe that. So I have to admit, though, I've seen videos where people are sitting on their couch and then out of nowhere, they're just like in a rainforest, meditating. And that's kind of cool, but also kind of scary. And it's also like, I don't know how to put it into words. Once again, I would probably take all of this back as soon as I put the thing on. Sitting here saying, I don't think I could take myself out of the zone. I would still be like, oh, I'm just looking at a screen. I'd probably be proven wrong the second the thing hits my forehead. So, the interesting thing about how I said, oh, you might be able to equip a Fortnite skin and then just, the world is your oyster with this thing on. Whenever Zuckerberg a few years back was just obsessed with the whole metaverse concept, his opening introduction of the metaverse to the world looked like a VR chat lobby or something. But back then, it seemed like it would be a thing where it's like interacting with a computer, right? You sit down, you open your laptop, and then boom, let's go to the metaverse, put my headset on. But it doesn't seem like that's really going to be what the quote-unquote metaverse might be. In fact, it might just be the real world, but with your own custom settings. Okay, you might be able to put a texture pack on the world here soon. And honestly, maybe even some mods. So all you Skyrim and Fallout lovers out there are going to love that. So, yeah. But with all this being said, we really are in a Black Mirror episode. But everyone's saying that, and we've been in a Black Mirror episode for, I don't know, maybe 20 years at this point. So, and the thing is, we're going to go, oh, this is so scary, this is so this is so that. But as soon as we all get used to it, we're going to forget about it and everyone's going to adapt, because that's what has happened with technology since it's really started booming. That's what everyone said about the iPhone. Oh my gosh, you have music, you have phone, you have text, you have games all in your pocket. That's something from out, not of this world, and now everyone has one. Okay, once again, I'm not fully sold that this is going to be fully adapted like those things. But the thing is, when Apple comes out with something, whether you're an Apple hater or not, Apple is sort of the pulse of technological advancement. Somebody else might have done it first before Apple, but if Apple does it, it means that it might be legit and not just a gimmick, because Apple doesn't just pounce on things that it doesn't think are worth their time to develop. Everyone has a touchscreen laptop now. Apple doesn't. Everyone has this, everyone has that. So when Apple comes out with something, you sort of do know, like, okay, if they're doing it, it means that they believe in it. And that's sort of a big thing. So the only gimmick that Apple really takes part in is making you buy 15 different cables and dongles for all your products. Okay. By the way, one of the greatest words of all time, I don't know who came up with it, but dongle. Okay. I've never heard a dirtier word in my life. I think I'd rather say, there's got to be 100 swear words I'd rather say before I would ever say dongle. It just doesn't sound right. But let's transition into discussing algorithms. That's the title of the episode. We all know about algorithms. They run your life, okay? They run my life. They run your life. Anyone with an internet connection and some type of social account, your life is being controlled by an algorithm, okay? What you say aloud, what others around you talk about, and your thoughts, the algorithm's all picking up so that you stay engaged on TikTok for maybe a minute or two longer. And it determines which social media bubble or echo chamber you're going to be a part of. Okay, algorithms are kind of like the sorting hat from Harry Potter. All right, you sign up for a TikTok account and, you pick a couple interests out and the sorting hat algorithm goes on your head and it goes, right-wing propaganda. Okay, or maybe it goes, Harry Sisson fangirl. Okay, Taylor Swift blood cult. There's a lot to choose from, a lot of little bubbles. Or if you're just a really boring person, it's just, people who dance and people who throw beer bottles off of rooftops onto Chris Angel nail beds. But whatever floats your boat, the sorting hat will find a place for you. And look, everyone wants to demonize algorithms. And I sort of understand that. They are scary. You'll have a dream about, pasta. And what's the first thing you see when you open TikTok? Some fettuccine Alfredo. It's a little bit weird. They are creepy and invasive. But they do have a lot of upsides, and they sort of get a bad rap a lot of the time, okay? Look, do you want your For You page to be trash? Just say it if you really do. I've had some days where I get on TikTok and I just go, dude, the CCP is not working hard today because every video I scroll past just sucks today. All right. The brain chip that Xi Jinping put in my head whenever I signed up for TikTok must have ran out of batteries for the last day or two because everything I see just, it's not good. It's not good. Look, if the CCP or whoever owns TikTok, I don't even know. Look, if they give me a good little echo chamber to scroll in, then they can have my data. I really have nothing to share. That's obviously a joke, but, what are we going to do about it? What are we going to do about it? And the people who think, I don't have TikTok, I'm so ahead of everybody. Well, whenever you scroll on YouTube Shorts or Instagram Reels, it's the same thing. It's the exact same thing. Look, as long as I can continue to stumble upon videos of people doing acting or singing or with some dumb filter on it that have 0 likes, I'm good. And by the way, that's the best content on the app. When you find those videos with 0 likes and maybe 3 bookmarks, maybe a couple of shares, that's the gold mine. That's the absolute gold mine of content. So me and my one buddy have one of the greatest collections of 0 liked videos maybe on the face of the earth, and we're always sending them to each other. And they're gold. There's nothing else quite like them on the entire internet. Because you think about it, if you go to YouTube or anywhere else, you're never going to see the content that has 0 likes, right? You're never going to open YouTube and the first thing that pops up has no views. It's always going to be something with a few 100,000, a few million. They're not really exposing you to content that has not been exposed already. So that's one of the great things about TikTok. And look, I honestly have no room to talk about these videos with no likes. If TikTok was, a social caste system, then those videos would be on the very bottom, and then the videos that I post would be the very next level up. Still very much the bottom of the pyramid, so don't get me wrong on that. But the question is, the Sorting Hat assigns you a wormhole, right? But is there a way you can escape the wormhole? And yes, there is, and I've got a few to share with you today. The first thing is to purposely look up things that you want to learn more about in hopes that it will show up on your For You page more. I do this all the time. Maybe it's a new band I'm looking into. Maybe it's something random I overheard someone else talking about. Whatever it may be. One of the great things about TikTok is that you can search a term and in 5 minutes expand your knowledge on whatever that thing is by like tenfold. And the reason why I think TikTok is so much better at this than, say Google searching something is because not only, I would say not that, but the great thing about it is that if you Google search something, let's say you Google search a band, it's going to give you the basic facts. Who are the members? How long have they been together? How many albums? This, that, whatever. But if you search it on TikTok, you are immediately diving into a community of fans or haters on said thing. And what's really important to me is not so much the cold hard facts of something I want to learn more about, because I can reach that in 5 seconds. But if you search for something on there, you are immediately diving into that community. And it's interesting to see that. And I can't really think of another place that's that easy to get immediately immersed in something new that you want to learn more about or that you want to expose yourself to. And I love that. Another great thing about TikTok is the blue comment feature. A lot of times I'll get videos on my page and I'm like, I have no idea what this person is talking about. But then one of the comments will be a blue one. You click on that and boom, you're just introduced to something that you never knew existed 10 seconds ago. And look, getting out of your own rabbit hole is extremely important this day and age. It's great to expose yourself to different viewpoints, new things, and as dumb and cliche as it may, as dumb and cliche as it may sound, TikTok is the reason why I've discovered so many new things that I never knew before. And I'm not ashamed to say it. It's put me onto a lot of new music, a lot of new movies, all types of things like that. So when I play a song in the car and someone goes, "This is a TikTok song," and I go, "Yeah, but it's also, a good song." So sorry, not sorry. But yeah, this will definitely manipulate your algorithm. And sometimes, honestly, let's say there is something that I've been really getting into, but I'm just not seeing enough of it on my page. I'll search for it a few days in a row, go out of my way, manually type it in. And, after, it might only take one time of doing that, and then you start to see it pop up more in your natural For You page doom scroll. So we all know that we're in our own little bubbles, but I will say TikTok is definitely the app that makes it easiest to escape and explore new things, because even on like YouTube Shorts or Instagram Reels or whatever it may be, it's not as easy to do that stuff. And I think that's because TikTok is like the most personal out of those platforms. There are not as many accounts on YouTube or Instagram where people are talking directly to the camera about something and their opinions on it or this or that. A lot of it is just meme pages or stuff like that. So yeah, I love TikTok for that reason. And it's definitely a great way to escape the rabbit hole. Now, the next thing you have to do is interaction. Now, this sort of goes hand in hand with what I just said. But, if there's a certain type of content I really want to keep seeing on my page, I'll make sure to like it, bookmark it, whatever. Maybe even just stay on it longer than I normally would while I wipe, whatever. And you can do the complete opposite of content that you really hate. There's this one dude on TikTok. I don't even know what his profile name is, but annoys the crap out of me every time I see it. His entire page is him sitting in his dark room full of LED lights, making cringy videos about breakups and feeling left out. And it's the same videos over and over again. And of course they all have 200,000 likes, because of course they do. I never interact with any of these videos. And the only reason why I haven't blocked or muted this account is because I'm doing a test to see how little I can interact with this guy's videos and have TikTok keep showing them to me for some reason. Okay, I must just be in the 20-something-year-old white male demographic that is this guy's target, and TikTok just keeps shoving it down my throat. I don't know. But all I'm going to say is maybe if you left your room and stopped making TikToks about being lonely, you wouldn't be lonely anymore. Okay? You're in an endless cycle. All right? Making TikToks about missing the year 2019 is not going to get you any closer to feeling better, bro. But yeah, there are some people like that just harvest depression out of people to get views, right? They're like a scythe, but for losers, okay? A farm combine, but for people that haven't felt happiness in 5 years. So, hey, I guess it puts food on the table. What are you going to do? But don't you just love when you see the dumbest videos get 1 million likes? Or ones that I really hate are the videos that take original creators, whether it's a podcast clip or a sketch, a comedy sketch, something like that, and then they slap an ASMR video next to it, and they don't tag the original creator, and it gets 10 times more views than the original creator's video. It sucks. Some of the ones that I hate too are it's a video and it goes, every time someone joins my live, it says their username. Come watch my live. I'm going to pop the big balloon. And of course you look over at their little logo. They're always live. I don't think these people sleep. I don't know. They're doing the Russian sleep experiment, but for making me want to jump off a bridge every day. And it sucks. And, of course you join the live and they're just sitting there reading the chat. Hey, thanks for the rose. Thanks for putting a filter on me, guys. And, they're probably making $5,000 a day doing that. Yeah, I love social media because the barrier for entry to make things is so low. Anyone can do it. And as great as that is, it also does suck because there are people that look at social media as a tool to make money instead of as creating something worthwhile. And that's obviously a very viable career nowadays because it's not about making anything good. It's about making something that will get the most interactions, that will get people to stay and watch. So now you have people whose entire living is dumpster diving behind the liquor store and finding bottles they can throw off their roof into a pile of balloons. Now, look, I do kind of like those videos. Sometimes they're fun. But, look, I'm a media and journalism major in school. And so I really, truly care about the media industry and the field as a whole. And I feel like the repercussions for that low barrier for entry is that now everything just sucks. And that sounds like a mean thing to say. The average Joe can't make something good, because that's not true. But now that everyone can make something, everything is so diluted and it's making the actual stuff worth seeing. That stuff is just drowning under a mountain of complete crap. Especially because it's all about interactions. It's all about view time. It's all about this and that. So, I saw a video the other day and it goes, here's how to maximize engagement on TikTok. Whenever you're making a clip, purposely misspell words or say something that's blatantly wrong so that you get people to comment and stay longer. Then you have people fight in the comments. And because it gets so much engagement, TikTok will send it out to the next level of the For You page. And it just grinds my gears because it's no longer a competition to put out anything good, to put out anything quality. It's now just an attention span competition, and that's what everyone's fighting for. YouTube is a little bit better, obviously, because something that's good quality on YouTube is a lot harder to make, and it's going to rise above the rest most times. But on TikTok and other platforms, not really. Some of the most liked videos are some of the ones that least deserve it. And it's just people that they don't understand that all that stuff, yeah, it's going to put money in your pocket, but what are you actually doing? You're not putting anything good into the world. And of course, these are people that probably don't actually care about media and about any of that stuff. And it is what it is. But it sucks whenever you actually care about this stuff and you care about people who make good stuff having it recognized instead of just people that are clamoring for more attention span market share. So yeah, it stinks. It does stink. And that stuff falls in the same category of, if this gets 10K likes, I'll do this or that, or follow me for more. No, if someone wants to follow you, they're going to follow you. And that's one of my biggest pet peeves is be sure to like and follow and click the bell. Like, I'm going to do that if I want to. So, yeah. Anyway, sorry to end on a rant, but just had to get that off my chest. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching, listening, wherever you're doing it. And we'll see you later.